All right, we've been hard at work over here. We deconstructed all the garden, took all the chicken fence down, the netting, moved all my potatoes over here, which are, by the way, doing fantastic. One more fill up for those, and then they'll be good to go until they're ready to harvest. So what I did first was I took out all of the metal landscape staples I had holding in all of the drip irrigation. And then I just folded it all up here and just dragged my main water pipe back that's connected to all of it. And then I took all the staples out of the landscape. You can kind of see the pipe down in there. I put everything on top. Then I took all of the staples that we had, putting these in place. Then I just rolled them up and then put them in the specific locations for each row. Since each row they're made a different distance apart for different types of things. So we left this here. I'm going to add another board and add some extra compost and stuff to this because I already have some sweet potatoes growing back in here again. So I'll just gently pull those up and then replant them once I have my new boards and more soil in. So what we plan to do now is go ahead and bring in our compost mixture that we've been putting together with, coffee grounds and eggshells and our horse manure. And then we'll put this all in here, nice and thick. Let it sit down and settle for a little bit, and then we'll put everything back. And then it'll be just about time to plant. All right, I'll keep you guys updated as we get this put back together. Hey guys, welcome back to the garden. This weekend we worked on the garden a lot. What we did here, I'll show you, is we had all of the weed barrier and everything off of it. My husband came through with the tractor and we had a little trailer. So we just moved all of our compost and horse manure that was composting and stuff and filled this whole entire area with compost. And then what we did was unrolled all of the weed barrier back. So if you can notice, I have a bigger garden now. So my husband ended up putting extra compost all the way over here just because we had it. So hey, let's expand it, another row and a half. I had it tucked up and under right here. So I just had this is where I had all the potatoes and stuff right here up to that little pipe in the ground. We used to have like a sprinkler set up there, but we don't use that anymore. It's just there for, maybe I should put a flag in it or something. So then I also have this whole new entire row of weed barrier. I haven't put any holes in any of these. So what I need to do now is go back to my garden plan and update that and maybe move a few things around. Since I'm doing a lot of vining stuff like pumpkins and melons and stuff, so they're going to take up a little bit of extra space there. So I'll go back through my plan and seeds and see what I can maneuver around to make it fit. We weren't feeling very good this weekend, so we didn't finish it. So we're going to go ahead and put up our poultry netting back up around. And then our solution to keep the rabbit out of this new garden is some tulle like you would use for a wedding veil. And then it's just runs in sheets, and then we'll attach that to the chicken fence. And we'll see if that will keep all the critters out of the garden this time. Hey guys, well I finally had some time to sit down and redo my garden planning. So I went back out to my garden, I recounted how many rows I have to plan with, and then decided to take my old plan here. It didn't quite fit on this notebook paper very much anymore since I added in like 3 rows. So I went ahead and got a larger piece of paper that my kids used to do their drawing and painting and stuff, and just kind of drew my own rows here. My husband had to help a little bit so I could do my spacing evenly. So I'll just bring you around here and show you what I got going on. All right, so I still have basically the same exact things. What I did was just I added a couple of extra things. So I did go through my seedlings and counted how many had sprouted and how many were doing good and I knew would make it to the garden. So I know there's a few more that I'm going to have to plant to make up for some that didn't do as well as I expected, mainly like my yellow bell peppers and my Edgevarskis. So I'll have to plant a few more of those. And I guess I did my miscounting with my green onions. I need another whole 6-pack tray of those. But there'll be plenty of time to get it going and everything will grow so nicely. So here what I decided, we're going to use a cattle panel for these cherry tomatoes since they grow crazy. So I'm only going to plant however long that cattle panel is. My husband says it's about half of my row. So then the rest of that row will be slicing tomatoes along with another full row of slicing tomatoes. All of this is the same things, you know, my cucumbers, green beans, and peppers. And down here is where we added on another whole roll of our weed barrier here, which is 2 rows. I can get 2 rows out of 1 strip of weed barrier. So what I did here is I added another half of a row of zucchini because there's lots of ways that we can save this, you know, shred it and put it in the freezer. It makes great like zucchini banana muffins. My kids love those. And I saw this thing going around on Facebook where you could dehydrate it and grind it and make zucchini flour. And you can use part of it in your recipes like for muffins and stuff like that. So, and I also made my calabazas a whole row. Those are like the Puerto Rican pumpkins. So I thought I would give maybe those a whole row and see how those do. So everything else is about the same there. So I just need to make my holes here. I decided on 10 holes or spots per row here on these. And hopefully that will be enough space for these vining items to grow properly. So I got a little bit of more reseeding to do. I need to plant some more of these green onions and some of the peppers that didn't do well. Mainly the Edgevarskis. Those probably aren't supposed to be for this area, but they're awesome. So hopefully we'll be able to get at least a few of those. And my yard beans didn't do very well either. I think I only got like maybe 10 of those out of the 16 that I planted. So I'll have to plant some more of those too. All right, so we got freezing weather tonight. So my plan is the beginning of this coming week is to do my reseeding, and then my green beans will be ready to put in the ground. They're nice and tall. I'll show you guys a quick look on those before I finish this video. All right, so here's the quick update I was going to show you guys on my green beans. Look how awesome they're doing. These are the contender green beans, and then these are the Blue Lake. Even though these took longer to germinate and sprout, they're taller than these. So here's a little look of everything on my peppers, tomatoes. These ones are starting to get their true leaves, the Romas, and everything else is doing fantastic. But these are the yard beans, and I don't know about those. We'll see how they do. But it's supposed to get to under freezing tonight, down to like 30s with a wind chill. So all this stuff is going to go inside my house on top of my bar, and then I'll just cover all the other stuff. And I got some blueberries going. Let's go look at those real quick. Some of my sweet potatoes are starting to sprout that I planted to get slips from. But here are my blueberries. You can see, looks like they got pollinated, and I might have some blueberries. Hopefully, I may pull this one inside tonight too. The wind's really starting to pick up now. All right, I'll bring you back when we're ready to maybe put some stuff in the garden. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you like it.